is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that? It is Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie. It's your Thursday podcast today. Kate, you want to talk about bosses firing people here at Nova, is that correct?
No, we're not doing that on air, are we?
No, that's a bit
It's
fine.
got its own podcast.
Have we got audio?
No, just me, just the three of us. But we are chatting bosses, but no one here in this building.
Well, a dangerous game if you want to play it, Kate Ritchie, but you'll hear it on the podcast.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's go through the list of the top Google searches for 2024.
Oh, is Trump in there?
Well, if we go to...
US election.
Well, number one, Kate Ritchie, on the top trending searches overall.
Yep.
Yes, the number one goes to the US election. Number two goes to the Olympic medal tally. Number four, Liam Payne, rest in peace. Number five, Taylor Swift. Here's an interesting one. They've gone through also the top trending searches for definitions.
Is this in Australia?
This one is, yeah.
Okay.
The number one search on definitions was demure.
Oh, no, because that word was floating around.
Wasn't it? Was it popular at one stage, wasn't it?
It was, and I remember going for a fitting for my actress dress, and I used the word demure.
Oh, you put
and
it into practice.
She thought that I was like being hip. And I said, no, that's just a word.
It was an enormous viral trend of a lady in a car saying how pretty she felt.
Have you got that there,
Very
Jess?
demure, very mindful.
That's
Very
right.
demure.
'Cause, Tom, a lot of people say that you smell like demure.
No, that's manure.
I thought it was French.
I'm so
de
sorry.
manure.
Demure. Tommy, what does demure mean? Like, can
You're
you give me
funny
a
today,
definition
Vince.
of demure?
Without Googling it, you're feeling, I guess, a little bit fancy and, a little
Is
bit,
it a bit sexy?
but still understated.
It's not sexy.
I think it's more like...
Oh, a little bit of sexy.
No,
Yes,
it's not sexy.
It's something that Carson Kreslin would say in... What was that show?
Demure is like prim and proper.
well,
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Instead of Tom's definition, why don't you Google, Tom?
reserved, modest and shy, typically used of a woman, a young, demure lady. Or a
Very
Not
demure,
sexy.
very mindful.
but
understated, but
knowing she's sexy,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not saying it.
Well, you
That's,
can't-
I think there's another.
So you were suggesting
give
you
us-
knew you were sexy while trying a dress on?
Let's not go back there.
Give us an example of a celebrity who's demure.
Kate Middleton.
Scarlett. No, I wouldn't use that word
perfect
for
for Kate Middleton.
Scarlett Johansson when she's
right,
wearing
gotcha.
prim and proper.
Well, you've gone back to
because you
sexy
know
again.
she's full of like
That's not demure.
She's demure.
she's demure.
I
like to go
It's
through
prim, it's prim and proper, but with a touch of sexiness.
Really keen on the sexy bit, aren't you? Hey, drop the sex bit and you've got it. Trending searches for global figures. Who should be at number one?
Okay.
Number one.
Trending
Oh,
searches.
come on.
Is it Donald Trump?
No,
No,
it's Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay.
Donald Trump comes in at number two, Ryan James,
Right.
Kate Middleton number three, Kamala Harris. Going down the list, who would have thought Travis Kelce slides in at number six on the most trending searches for global
Steve
figures?
Price? Steve
there?
Price isn't
No,
in there?
Steve
or-
Price, no, didn't get a mention.
Whipper.
Whipper didn't get a mention. Coming in at
Damn.
number 10, P. Diddy. He, of more recent times, you might suggest. US election came in at number one for the top trending events as well. Just fascinating to know what the world... I mean, what does the word Vox mean? That came in at number 3 of Googled for definition.
It's gravy, isn't it?
That's grey Vox.
Vox Pop.
It's a website. Is it? What does it do, Jess?
What is it?
general interest news site. Yeah.
Oh, so people were searching Vox to find out news.
Politics and things like that.
Man, it's 2024 and I'm still learning.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
There's a company who is under fire for firing their employees. They did a survey. We often get surveys sent around here, catching up on how everybody's feeling. And the survey asked one question about whether you were stressed in the workplace. And what they did as a response was to say, well, we don't want you being stressed and you can leave the company, and they fired everybody.
You can't do that.
Apparently, they're saying, hang on, it says here, we sincerely apologise for any distress caused by recent social media posts suggesting we dismissed employees for being stressed. Let us be clear, we would never take such an inhumane step.
It does feel like that.
I think they let the people go who were stirring the pot in the workplace.
The workplace survey is meant to be anonymous.
Oh, yeah, well, this is what I always worry about. But do you know what? Even though they say that, I still freak out that your name's going to be put to it.
Do you know what?
They'd absolutely know who it was coming from.
I never. If it is anonymous, that's good news because I never fill them out.
I didn't do the last one, I
never
don't
do
think.
it. And then I think, well, if it's anonymous, they're not going to know it's me that hasn't filled it out. Yeah, guys, how smart am I?
Did anyone see the CEO of the company down in Melbourne who had a meeting with all his employees on Zoom before the Christmas party? Did anyone see
What
that?
happened?
Well, he said, look, he goes, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I take drugs, but I don't do it at the Christmas party. So first of all, nobody does it at the Christmas party or you're going to get the sack. Then he backs it up with, and also... if you're thinking about cheating on your partner, I know that happens, but just please, if you can refrain doing it with someone at work. Because it's just
he doesn't want to be in trouble.
Yep.
He doesn't want the meetings.
It's too complicated. If you want to do it outside of work.
Okay. So if you could just keep your drugs and your cheating
How do we know
outside of
this?
work.
Was someone filming him?
Yeah, because it was on Zoom, Kate, and this is the thing. Someone filmed their computer
Awesome.
of the meeting, so he's got no idea who the employee is.
If anybody wants to break any marital or laws, do it outside. Just
Do it on your own time.
Do it after 5 today. Just don't bring it to the party.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Okay, this is exciting, guys, because we love the show. Yellowstone premieres weekly on Mondays, but at the same day on the US. And seasons 1 to 5 now on Stan. But one of the key stars of this show, she plays the character of Sarah Atwood in Yellowstone. Dawn Olivieri, welcome to the Fitzy and Wippa Kate Ritchie show. Hello, Dawn. What are you eating, Dawn?
Grapes.
Oh, you are there.
So
Sorry.
fast you saw that. Just slip that in like that.
My God, when you're tight on time, you got to get it in.
Hydrating.
That's right.
Don't muck around, Dawn. Don't worry about that. Here's a great question for Dawn. Were you naturally someone that was familiar with the national parks of Montana and Yellowstone?
I mean, familiar in the sense like I've been there. Maybe I've driven through once, but I wasn't as familiar as maybe I am now.
Yeah. Well, culturally understanding of how a cowboy really lives his life, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's a way of life.
I've dated a few, so I kind of have a little bit of an idea. Maybe not in Montana, but other places.
What's the difference between dating a cowboy and dating a non-cowboy?
City slicker?
Yeah.
Well, the cowboy knows horses. The cowboy also is pretty capable. He can operate heavy machinery. He can pull big trailers. He's not afraid to sort of get into like some really heavy situations. That's a cowboy.
I love your character on Yellowstone because it's an extremely powerful position that you have. And because Jamie's a little bit on the nervous and he's always been, because he's the adopted son, he's trying to fit in, but now he's just, you've taken over. You know when you see those images and someone's trying to make a decision and there's an angel on one shoulder and there's a devil on the other?
And there's Dawn on the other, you mean?
Yeah, and there's Dawn on the other, but the angel doesn't exist.
I just flicked that angel off the other shoulder.
Oh,
That's
I
just
know.
me the whole way.
It's like first-class manipulator.
Yeah.
That's the best villain is when you're making the most sense. And you can get other people to believe in, drink the Kool-Aid.
Dawn, congratulations on what I reckon is the role of a lifetime. And you know what I think is awesome too? You talk about 1883. I can see other spin-offs coming pretty strong out of the series that is Yellowstone. So I'm excited for whatever that branch out looks like, and I hope that you're part of it because you're a superstar.
Well, right now, I appreciate that. What a sweet thing to say. But he moved me to Lioness already, so I'm on that show now, and that should air. If it hasn't aired over by you guys yet,
great.
it will be very soon.
Oh, that's exciting.
And can I just quietly, Dawn, before we let you go, we don't need cowboys. I've just listened to you speak. I'm kind of going through your back catalogue of characters you've played. Like you are the rancher.
Sisters,
like
you know.
become
I am
the
the cowboy.
ranch. You are
I'm
the
literally-
cowboy.
I even made for Moon Mountain down, I made a sweater that said, I am the cowboy.
I am the cowboy. There's a song in that.
Amazing.
Dawn, thank you so much for joining us. The brand new episodes of Yellowstone premieres weekly on Mondays, same day as the US, only on Stan. Watch seasons 1 to 5 now. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.
Take
Have a
care.
good day.
See you next year.
See you, cowgirl.
All right.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Going into Christmas, everybody's looking for a bit of loose coin, a bit of loose change. And one
Or just
man...
getting loose.
Or just getting loose. One man, how's this? On Tuesday night, I don't know if you've heard this, Fitzy, from the town of Burra. It's 160 kilometres north of Adelaide. There's 1,100 people. He just won $50 million.
You're kidding me.
No, he's taken out Division 1. Well done, old mate. On the phone, he was quoted as saying, "It's effed. I can't believe it. I just checked my ticket. Oh, my God."
He could buy the whole of Burra.
Yeah, he could. And probably the one next door. Burra.
What do you-
Burra.
Does he stay in Burra? That's the question with 50 mil.
When you drive through Burra in a Ferrari, I reckon you're probably working at the hardware store. Small industry of Burra, there might be a great bakery, or there'd be a Chinese restaurant.
Oh, there'd be an amazing bakery in Burra.
Yeah,
Let
there
me
would
find
be.
out a bit more about Burra while you're talking. But
Okay.
I'd love to hear 13 24 10 if you know someone out in the country or someone who lives remote who won a large amount of cash.
Because it's impossible for this guy to hide it. Because he either has to not spend a cent or leave Burra. Like his life has changed forever. So if he wants to, what have you got on this guy, Jess?
Oh, no, not this guy, but on what Fitz was saying, my mum's good friend, Wanda, won the lotto and she lived in Narrabri, small country
You're
town
kidding
up
me.
north.
Did she
Past
wander
Hamlet.
off?
Oh, very
Or
good.
did she stay there?
No, I think she stayed there.
How much did she win?
Like millions. And she was just the editor of the local paper or something. She just stayed there for her whole life, did a couple of overseas trips.
In
but just-
Narrabri?
Yeah, feet up.
My
So-
God.
You've got Ururu next to it,
buy
so you
that.
could buy Ururu as well. It's on the way out to Broken Hill,
Oh,
past Tanunda. It'd be beautiful. I think there'd be some beautiful wineries and that out there as well.
could buy a winery.
I'm sorry to say this, but he needs, unless he's got family ties, he needs to get out of Burra.
There's a great movie in it because it feels a little bit Dundee-like. You know when he goes to New York and Crocodile Dundee? Imagine this guy from Burra, and you're right, he could work in the local bakery, rolling into New York, hiring out the penthouse at the plaza, shifting in for a month, and burning through $50 million. Go, you good thing.
He can't stay in Burra. I'm sorry to say
No,
it, because
he
when
can't.
he rocks up to the local pub, he will walk in and everyone will just look at him and go, "All right, I'll have a chicken palmy and I'll have a pint. Thanks, Dave."
And Dave, by the way, that place next door with the dam where I've been wanting to put some cattle, buy it for me, you tight bum.
Bloody the bridge is stuffed again. Does anyone know how? Has anyone got any money that we can fix it with?
Dave?
He's got to get out of Burra.
You there, Dave? He's gone, mate. His lucky numbers got him out of Burra.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I forgot about Tiger King, the old Joe Exotic. Remember that?
Yes. Wasn't
So
that
this-
brilliant? It was what everyone was talking about.
It was amazing. So, let's not go Eye of the Tiger. Have you got the theme to Tiger King? If you haven't seen it yet, I think it's still up on Netflix. Thanks, Jess. If you haven't seen it yet, it is an amazing documentary of Joe Exotic, who thought he just was the bee's knees.
It's worth a rewatch, actually.
The unfortunate thing for Joe, though, he's serving a 21-year sentence in jail for 2 counts of murder for hire related to alleged plans to kill his big cat rescue foe, Carol Baskin. And he's also in there with 19 other counts of wildlife crime related to the killing of 5 tigers and the illegal sale of tiger cubs. This is the thing, though. I forgot about this, but I do remember... Do you remember at the end of Donald Trump's term, there was a rumour going around that Joe Exotic was on Donald Trump's pardon list? Remember, he was thinking of pardoning Joe Exotic and getting him out of jail. And then he lost the election to Joe Biden. So now that Trump's back in, poor Joe Exotic thinks he's going to get out when
He's talking, is he?
How
So
long has
he's
he been in the human enclosure for?
He said, Sean Hannity and a lot of people that work in Parliament told me that I was on the pardon list, that they've seen the pardon list, and when January 6 happens and Donald Trump takes over, I am going to be let out. I'm going to get a pardon. The thing is, as well, he wants to join Trump's team.
Oh, God. This is just,
He said, I'd be great on the US Fish and Wildlife Service.
I don't think he's allowed to go near animals anymore.
You couldn't.
There'd be some kind of,
Don't get me wrong. There's rules around him and animals. I get it. And you know what? There's a few loose nuts and units that are in Trump's team. But this is a stretch too far for even the ridiculousness of America.
He'll keep talking, though, won't he? It'll always be in the press.
Oh, yeah.
You can imagine how much time that they have in prison. Like those inmates and thinking to themselves, I'm a chance here. I think I can get out.
Yeah.
Or if they could just find that evidence, I'll be all right. Maybe next year. They should do a movie on it. Call it How to Make Gravy.
We've done this whole story, so you can give that movie a plug.
Actually, I watched it the other night. It's really, really good.
Yeah?
Really good.
Hugo
But
Weaving.
Just based at, Hugo Weaving is unbelievable in it. But he honestly thinks at the start of the year that Joe Exotic, he's married a new guy in prison. He's got a new husband.
Oh, that's right. That was another element of the story I'd forgotten about.
Because then his husband at one stage went missing too, and there was talk that he'd put...
Missing teeth. Am I right?
You're not wrong, sister. And there was talk that he'd put another person through the blender and fed them to the tigers.
Yeah, that's not...
Oh, really?
Very exotic of him.
Oh, I'm going to have to watch it again.
He thought he was doing such a great thing that people got to, you got to hold a tiger cub.
Yeah.
Like, not many people get to do that. I changed people's lives.
Yeah.
I was killing tigers at the time, but I also got a lot of people got to hold up a tiger cub. It's a beautiful thing.
You're right. There could be another series in it if he returns. Pardoned by Trump, he'll make a return.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Can we talk mixed businesses, please? When they do well in one area and they go, you know what, why don't we just have a crack at another area? But it's completely different to what they're doing the first time around. And I mean, this Stephen Khalil he's got a studio in Paddington and he's a fashion designer. Have you heard of him, Kate? Stephen Khalil?
He's very well known.
He did my wedding dress.
Did he really?
Famous for wedding dresses.
He did my wedding dress. He did a few Logies frocks. The navy one. The navy.
Oh, you looked beautiful.
The navy. You would remember that year.
I remember that. It was great.
Did you see my wedding dress?
Yeah. Beautiful photos.
So he's dressed Kylie Jenner, Jennifer Lopez, but you know what? He's taken a bit of a risk here. It's time to evolve and challenge myself. He's gone into rugs. Steve's gone into rugs.
What?
Dresses and rugs.
Couture rugs?
He said, if Vera Wang can do it, I can do it.
Wow.
So, and I mean, you've seen over the years, I mean, there's a Frank Green Oraton water bottle for $190 these days.
I think it makes sense, though, because remember when people started, stopped buying magazines, news agencies diversified. Have you noticed that? You can get
It's a convenience store.
It is.
It's like when you go to the post office and you're lining up and you look around and you go, oh my God.
Don't ever buy anything in the post office.
I do.
Oh, I shouldn't say that.
And I go, there's a massage machine. Oh, right next to it, there's a cat with an arm that goes up and down.
I love. If you've got a mixed business in your area, or if you've seen a mixed business, please give us a call 13 24 10. Because you know what, the other one, someone messaged me and said, what about Yamaha? Yamaha do musical instruments and motorbikes.
Oh, they do everything. Outboard engines, you name it.
They?
Yep.
So that,
Pianos.
I mean, how weird's that?
Do you know?
They do. I had a Yamaha.
They do all musical instruments.
Keyboard.
Yeah. Do you remember
my singing lessons?
My first gig in radio was in a small town in South Australia called Port Augusta. And there was a shop there not far from where I lived called Port Augusta Firearms and Cycles. You could buy a gun and a bike at the same time. You could ride away with a shotgun over your shoulder.
Can I show you, Jess, I don't know if you can put this photo up there, but this is where I grew up. Party and movies. We had Party and movies down the road, so you can go and rent a DVD, Kate, and then grab a couple of balloons for your party.
Well, Because no one's hiring videos anymore.
That's
are they?
how's business
Or,
going now at
DVDs.
party and movies.
Here's
But
a
it
couple of
sounds
others.
like a good night out.
There's butter in Surrey Hills here in Sydney, right?
Yeah.
So butter is, you go in there and there's 2 bottles of champagne in the window, so you can grab yourself a champagne. Then there's sneaker shelves, the best and the latest sneakers. You can also grab some fried chicken, soft serve, and sparkling wine. It's not a sneaker store. It's not a restaurant or a bar. It's something entirely new and different.
Is this people like doubling up on the rent?
Maybe.
So is it 2 different businesses paying the rent? Because I know rent's been put up everywhere.
And let's just call it butter. We'll do food and shoes.
But how good's... Have you had butter?
Have I had butter?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I
no,
love
no,
butter.
that butter.
No, the chicken,
Oh,
it is
no,
massive.
It is
good,
so
is it?
good. Perfect for
Oh,
breakfast.
and
Is
if
it?
they, I mean, I know how busy they are, but if they want to send us some, Jesus.
33
yeah, I know.
Saunders Street.
Get it here.
Should we go? Can I
Let's
give you
talk to-
one more?
Yeah, go on.
Well, there's a funeral parlour that's over in the States that also acts as a mini golf course.
Okay.
It's free inside mini golf. Call ahead because if play can be cancelled if there's funeral work on.
Okay, so you could bury your dad and have a quick 18. Maddie in North Parramatta, what business do you know that's mixed?
Well, I've got a few that I've noticed, and it's not just one shop. Like, have you guys ever noticed that any place that fixes shoes also do keys?
Yeah, they do.
And also, like, you can also sometimes get a beer at your local barber.
Oh, yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
barbers do beers
yeah,
now.
that's good.
Beer and barber is very popular now, isn't it? And you watch sport. They have sport up on the screens as well. It's like you're at a pub.
Yeah.
remember-
Shoes and keys, though, it makes sense.
Doesn't it?
All the odd jobs, life admin.
Can I give you another one in the States? Mabel Peabody's. It's a beauty parlour and also chainsaw repairs. And I've got one more because this
And it says nightclub on there as well.
yeah, there's a
At
nightclub there
night,
too.
I think this is about sharing the rent.
I like it.
Oh, I love it. And just one more before we go. This is in Wisconsin. Abe's Taxidermy and Cheese.
Oh, gross.
We do a triple brie,
I don't want my brie from...
but we'll stuff your deer at the same time.
The Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Hey, finally, guys, and we've been talking about this for so long, but Rolls-Royce have finally released their first electric vehicle. Yes. It's called Spectre. Good name of a car.
James Bond.
And it boasts a range of firsts, including the largest rear-hinged and electrically assisted coach door ever fitted to a Rolls at 1.5 metres. That hasn't got me sucked in, mate. I don't want to buy one. I don't need a big door. It's got the widest grille ever. We don't need wide grilles. Why do we need wide grilles on car? It's got the largest wheels at 23 inches, and it's got the most aerodynamic Spirit of Ecstasy figurine adorning the bonnet.
You know what?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's the
thing on the
Spirit of
front.
Spirit of Ecstasy.
Oh, my
I
God.
never knew that.
I'm not going to buy one. You haven't sold it to me.
How much is it?
Well, would you like me to continue, Mr.
Yes.
Woodfley? Okay, so to the standard, it's the guy that wrote this, his name's Grant Edwards. He's from News Corp, and I reckon he's been able to drive one around for a while. And you know what? He's
Course
pumping
he
it up.
has.
You mean he's been gifted the drive?
He had
of
one for the
ecstasy.
weekend.
Okay, so the bare bones Spectres start from $770,000, but Grant says, but no one buys an entry-level Rolls-Royce and there's no such thing as standard. Every owner requires something bespoke. Expect the asking price to push past $1 million.
Oh, my God.
So how's this? During development, customers were asked whether the range of more than 500 kilometres on the electric vehicle would be enough. For a majority of them, they said the capacity, we probably need about 300 kilometres. Any more than that, we'll take our private jet or helicopter.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, my God.
Well, I'm not travelling more than 300. To the chopper.
Here we go. So here we go. Once the doors close, electrically, of course, via a
hugs you.
toggle. Yeah. Once the doors close, electrically, of course, via a toggle on the console or by the driver placing their foot on the brake pedal, it's a combination of silence and ultimate opulence.
Oh, here we go.
Eerily quiet. The occupants are ensconced with a lavish cocoon of the highest grade leather, timber and stainless steel. Only the harshest of road surfaces could blemish the serenity.
Oh, my God.
How did this come across your desk, Fitzy?
He subscribes to Rolls-Royce.
Rolls-Royce. I'm just wondering, because you are loving this.
So it goes from 0 to 100 kilometres in 4.5 seconds, and he said, Grant says, it's like riding on cloud 9 or cloud 10.
That's one above 9.
So, okay, there's some things here that we need to talk about. Across the dash are tactile finishes of the highest quality with shiny metal vents controlled by push-pull stops to alter the airflow. That's just the air conditioning.
That's aircon. Is it free
That's
air
just
with that
aircon.
one? Yep.
That's. Then he's written, there is also quick access to stereo controls on a touchscreen.
Oh, okay.
Because I need quicker access just to turn a song on.
Yeah.
Do you know, the bloke who wrote this, I feel for him, because he would have gone, okay, how do I sell air conditioning? So he would have gone straight to ChatGPT and written in, can you write some fancy words for air conditioning? And then gone on to the next part, touchscreen.
Okay. They're not necessities here that in the car, but we need to talk about these because I think the seats are heated and cooled, which is fine. You can also get a massage on the seats.
Lovely.
That's beautiful, yeah.
But you can turn the car, it can go dark, and then you can have shooting stars go across the roof of the car, which mimics a crystal clear evening.
Well, that's worth the extra 300,000.
Isn't it? You'd take it for the shooting stars. I mean, as a kid, I had Starlight Zones, and they were glow-in-the-dark stickers that you put on the roof.
Dark.
Yeah,
we're looking at a picture of it here now.
Okay. Oh, there's the stars. My
There
God,
it is.
I'm in a cocoon, but it's nighttime.
If it's raining outside as well, there's full-size umbrellas that are concealed above the front wheel, and you at a push of a button, you press a button, and the umbrellas will come out.
So you can take the kids camping in the car, quite literally. Guys, we're going to be sleeping in the outdoors. Well, it'll feel like that. So that same sensation...
Come on, in the driveway.
In the driveway. That same sensation of a sleeping bag and the stars at night.
Oh, there's the little statue of ecstasy.
There's ecstasy. Look, he's flying through the streets.
I'm just going to put it out there. Is this for lonely people?
I think it is. I don't think you have anyone else in your life. Is it a midlife crisis car as well? I feel like... Because even the carpets, he says here, the plush carpets that you put your feet on make silk feel like sandpaper. But if you want the plush carpets at your feet, they're going to cost an extra $35,000.
You've got to be kidding me. But you never drive it with
it looks nice, though. Let's have a look.
That's the best size grill I've ever seen.
In purple.
Oh, my gosh.
I wouldn't have thought so.
When are you ever going to feel the mat of your car? Like... You don't
when
drive
you're barefoot, when you're in a hurry.
You don't drive it without shoes on. Because I would assume
loafers,
they come with a slipper. Is there a velvet slipper that it comes with?
Oh, wow.
Isn't it illegal? Isn't it illegal to drive without shoes on?
I think it is.
Is that true?
Oh, in some states or some...
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Richard in Wilton's given us a call. He drives one of these cars. Is that right, Richard?
I wish.
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you've seen on a car, Richard?
Hey, first of all, I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all three of you.
You too, Richard.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Dickie.
Now, a couple of years ago, there was a TV show, I don't know if you remember, Pimp My Ride.
Yep. Loved it.
Right. Now, they used to go to the extreme and push the boundaries. Now, I was watching one episode, they actually put a fish tank inside the car.
Oh, my gosh.
Fish tank. Where was it?
It was inside the car. They mounted it in, like, the back, so it was, like, full working, had, like, all the water running, fish were live in it, like...
Well, you can't leave a fish at home,
No, you
can
can't.
you? You can't. I mean, you may as well get a dog.
You know when
Not
you're
in
going...
Not in the hot sun either. What if
No.
you leave a fish in the hot sun?
You're rushing out the door and you think, what do I do with my goldfish? Quick, take it with you. I'll pop it in the car.
People do like to pimp their rides. Rocco in Penshurst, what did you see on a car, Rocco?
Funny enough, the other day we were out driving, not one car, or two, all wrapped up with fairy lights stuck to it all over the car.
Fairy lights.
Oh,
and it's enjoying it, but I think that's a little too far.
Oh,
for Christmas.
That's not
that's
bad.
Kind
I mean,
of nice.
fairy lights can go on anything, can't they? I mean, they're
Well,
just
yeah, on
brilliant.
Tom. We should put fairy lights on you today, Tommy.
Oh, how lovely.
Oh, the fairy light car.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, hard work. How do you
Apparently,
get in? How do
you
you
can get
get
a
out?
big fine.
Yeah, you
if
would.
you do that
That's a
around
huge
here.
distraction.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's illegal.
Remember the guy, Tommy, we met him and he was a huge, I think he was a Lady Gaga fan, and he had a ute. And he'd had custom painted all over the bonnet of the car.
No, was it pink?
Was it pink?
It was pink.
Pink. Custom painted all over the ute, pictures of pink.
Yeah, big day for John Whipfley that day. Gosh.
That was massive.
Where's the inheritance gone?
Lady car.
Very good.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.